Good day everyone. In today's video, we'll be talking about Microsoft Fabric, what it is and how its pricing works. Let's start with a quick introduction. Microsoft Fabric is a unified all-in-one analytics platform offered as a software as a service solution by Microsoft. Its purpose is to bring together every data source and analytics service on a single AI-powered platform. In other words, Fabric integrates various data and analytics capabilities from data engineering and warehousing to business intelligence and AI under one roof. This unified approach helps organizations reshape how they access, manage, and act on data and insights by breaking down data silos and providing a seamless experience across traditionally separate services. Microsoft Fabric uses a capacity-based pricing model that is designed to be simple and flexible. Instead of paying separately for each feature or service, you purchase a pool of computing power that can be shared across all Fabric workloads. This computing power is measured in units called capacity units, CUs. You can think of CUs as the horsepower of the Fabric engine. Every query, job, or task you run in Fabric consumes a certain amount of the capacity units. The more CUs your capacity has, the more work it can handle at any given time. Here's the key idea. All the different services in Fabric draw from the same capacity pool. Whether you are running a data flow, a Spark notebook, a SQL query, or a Power BI report, they all use the same pool of capacity units that you have purchased. This unified model has a few big benefits. Simplified purchasing. You don't need to buy separate resources for each service. You just get one pool of compute for everything. Pool shared capacity. The capacity units are not tied to a specific workload. They float to wherever they are needed. This means if one service isn't using all the power, another service can use it. No capacity sits idle waiting for a particular workload. Next comes on the list is automatic scaling. You can scale the capacity up or down as your needs changes. Fabric lets you adjust how much capacity you use and even auto scales to match demand. So you are only paying for what you need at a given time. Small bursts in usage or smoothed over time. Fabric flattens short spikes in compute usage so that brief bursts don't immediately translate into higher costs. Centralized monitoring. A built-in dashboard lets you monitor usage and costs across all Fabric workloads in one place, making it easier to understand and predict your spending. Another important aspect of the pricing model is how you pay for the capacity. Microsoft Fabric offers two main purchases mode for capacity: pay as you go and reserved capacity. Pay as you go, also known as PayG. This is a flexible on-demand option. You pay for the Fabric capacity by the amount of time it's running with no long-term commitment. In Azure, Fabric capacity is billed per second with a 1 minute minimum granularity while it's active. You can scale it up, down, or even pause it when you are not using it to save money. This option is great if you want to start small, only use Fabric occasionally, or need the freedom to turn it off anytime. Pricing in this model is typically quoted as a monthly rate for the capacity, but you are only charged for the minutes of usage. We will look at the actual prices in a moment. Reserved capacity. If you know you will be using Fabric continuously, you can reserve a capacity for a longer term, for example, 1 year commitment. In exchange for this commitment, Microsoft significantly discounts the price. Essentially, you pre-commit to a certain capacity level for a year and you get a lower effective monthly cost. This is ideal for production scenarios or long-term projects where capacity usage will be steady. We will see specific pricing examples for reserved versus pay as you go soon in this video. It's also worth noting that Microsoft Fabric has a free trial option. New users can try Fabric for free for example, through a Fabric free license to explore its features. The free version has limited capacity and is meant for evaluation or for users who only consume content others share, like viewing dashboards, for instance. But to publish or share your own Fabric content, especially Power BI reports, you will eventually need to purchase capacity and likely have a Power BI Pro license as well. In summary, the pricing structure centers around capacity units and offers flexibility whether you want on-demand usage or cost savings through commitment. Next, let's break down the actual pricing numbers and different components that can incur costs in Microsoft Fabric. Now let's get into the detailed pricing for Microsoft Fabric. We will cover the Fabric capacity SKUs and their costs, the one lake storage pricing, and other aspects like mirroring and networking. All these details come from official Microsoft pricing article, which I have included in the description section of this video. Yeah, Microsoft Fabric capacities are offered in predefined sizes known as SKUs, each corresponding to a certain number of capacity units. The SKUs are named F2, F4, F8, F16, and so on, up to F2048, where the number in the name indicates how many CUs it provides. For example, F2 has 2 CU, like F8 will have 8 CUs, and F2048 will have 2048 CUs. Each step up roughly doubles the capacity of the previous, which means you can scale from a very small capacity to extremely large depending on your needs. Let's look at the cost for these SKUs. We will consider both pay-as-you-go prices and 1-year reserved prices. Smallest capacity here, as we know, it is F2. On a pay-as-you-go plan, F2 costs close to like $321.20 per month. Yeah. Now, the main thing that you need to take in mind is that you need to select appropriate region and then the display pricing by. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. If you, for example, select a different region, the cost that you see here can differ. As far as SKU F2 is concerned, we will be like paying $321 every month if we are continuously using it for a month. If you reserve F2 for a year, the price comes down to roughly $191 per month, which is close to like 41% of savings. Likewise, if we look at the mid-range example here, which is F64, which has got like 64 CUs, it is much larger capacity. Its pay-as-you-go price is about $10,278, and with the reservation, it will be like close to $6,112 per month. Yeah, again, we have this 41% savings here as well. Now, if we look at F2048, it would be like $328,908 per month, and then with the savings, you have like you will be paying close to $1,95,584 per month. Again, we have this 41% savings. This demonstrates the substantial cost savings of a reservation, especially at large scale. Let's now discuss on the one lake storage pricing. Yeah, in addition to compute capacity, Microsoft Fabric introduces one lake for all your data, which is the unified storage repository for Fabric. One lake storage is where all of your data in Fabric is kept, whether that's files, tables, or analytical data. The pricing for storage in one lake is separate from the compute capacity, and it's charged based on how much data you store. According to the pricing details, one lake standard storage cost is like close to 0.0298 per GB per month. This is the rate for your primary data stored in the Fabric's one lake. For example, 1 TB of data would cost close to around 29 to $30 per month at that rate. Yeah, 1 lake BCDR storage costs like close to 0.052 per GB per month. BCDR stands for Business Continuity Disaster Recovery. Essentially, this refers to backup or secondary copies of data. It is a bit more expensive because it's for resilient copies of data. If you choose to keep backup copies of your data in one lake or use Fabric's built-in data protection features, you would pay this higher rate for those duplicate copies. Next comes your one lake cache cost. It is 0.302 per month. We will be spending close to $0.302 per month per GB. Yeah, this is a special high-speed cache used by certain Fabric features. For example, the Custo Engine's query cache for real-time analytics and data activators streaming data retention or build as cache usage. The cache is only priced higher because it's optimized for speed. Only data explicitly stored in these caching layers incur this cost. It's important to note that one lake is automatically provisioned for you. You don't need to separately set up storage accounts for Fabric. It comes as part of the platform, and one lake's open data format means you can also attach external storage to it if needed. The $0.0298 GB rate applies to data you keep in the one lake that is beyond any free allowance. We will talk about a key free allowance for mirroring in a second. Also, Power BI storage within Fabric has some special treatment if you are using Power BI artifacts in Fabric, like importing a data set into Fabric Workspace. Power BI's native storage remains free up to the usual limits. Pro users get 10 GB each, etc. And Fabric honors those existing entitlements. Yeah, data in one lake that is directly related to Power BI. For example, the data backing an imported Power BI dataset is included in your Power BI license cost, meaning you won't be double charged for that in Fabric. In short, your Power BI licensing still covers Power BI scenarios even when they occur in Fabric. One important thing to note: when you delete a Fabric workspace, the data isn't wiped out immediately. There is a retention period, 7 to 90 days, during which the data can be recovered. During that retention time, one lake storage charges still apply for the data that was in the deleted workspace. So if you delete a huge workspace, keep in mind you might see storage charges for up to the retention period length. After that, the data is purged and you stop being charged for it. Now let's discuss on the mirroring. Yeah. Microsoft Fabric includes a feature called mirroring that provides a continuous data replication from external data sources into one lake. Yeah, think of mirroring as a way to keep an up-to-date copy of SQL database or other data source in one lake for analytics without manual exports. It takes a snapshot of your external database and then keeps that replica in sync in near real time in one lake. Now, how is this priced? The storage used by mirroring is actually counted as part of one lake storage, but Microsoft gives you a hefty free allowance specifically for mirrored data. Specifically for each Fabric capacity, you get free mirroring storage equal to that capacity size in terabytes. For example, if you purchased an F64 capacity, you get 64 terabyte of one lake storage at no charge to use for mirrored data replicas. If you had an F2 capacity, you would get a 2 terabyte free for mirror data. At the high end, for example, if you have an F2048 capacity, it comes with 2048 terabyte, like close to 2 petabytes of free mirrored storage for your replica data. This free mirroring storage is only for the replicated data via the mirroring feature. It can't be used for general storage of other files or data. The idea is to encourage everyone to bring their operational data into Fabric for analytics without immediately hitting storage costs. You will only be billed for 1 lake storage of mirrored data if you exceed the free limit or if your capacity is paused. Since if the capacity is paused, it's not active, the free allowance doesn't apply and the data would then bill as normal storage. As an example scenario, suppose you have an F32 capacity, yeah, which gives 32 terabyte free mirror data, and you connect a SQL database that ends up using 10 terabyte in 1 lake via mirroring. That 10 TB is below your 32 terabyte allowance, so you pay $0 for those 10 terabyte being used. If your mirrored data grows to 35 terabyte, you would start paying for the 3 terabyte that exceeds the free 32 terabyte for the over usage. Please note, the free mirroring storage is a benefit of paid capacities only. If you're just using the Fabric free trial, the free mirroring allowance does not apply to it. Let's more focus on networking now. As of now, network data transfer in Fabric does not incur a charge, yeah. But this is something that will change in the future. Microsoft has indicated that networking billing is coming soon to Fabric. When it is enabled, it will likely mean that moving data in or out of Fabric, that is the 1 leg, will have a cost similar to how Azure bandwidth charges work. For example, data egress to another region or download out of the cloud. The pricing page mentions that Microsoft will provide at least 90 days notice before network changes start, and they will share the details on the pricing and how to monitor your data transfer usage. So for now, you don't pay for data movement within Fabric, but down the road, be prepared for possible data egress charges. We won't dive deep into this since it's not active yet, but it's good to be aware that networking costs will eventually be a part of Fabric's pricing model, especially if your Fabric solution moves large volumes of data across regions or out of other services. Now that you understand the pricing, let's talk about how you can purchase Microsoft Fabric and the different options available to you. Microsoft Fabric can be acquired in a few ways, catering both to self-service purchases and enterprise agreements. The first way through which you can buy this is via the direct purchase using Azure. The most straightforward way is through the Azure portal. Fabric is an Azure service, so if you have an Azure account, you can go to the Azure and provision a Fabric capacity directly. Another way would be through a Microsoft representative or partner. If your organization prefers not to buy directly online, you can purchase Fabric through Microsoft Sales or an Azure partner reseller. The another option available is free trial or evaluation. So before committing to a purchase, you can start with Fabric's free trial. And by going to the Fabric website or Azure, you can enable Fabric in a free mode. This lets you test out the features at no cost. This is not a purchase per se, but it's a route to get started. Many users will try things out in the free tier and then move to paid capacity once they are ready to use Fabric for production or large scale projects. And as far as this Azure Fabric series is concerned, we will be using a trial account as far as Fabric is concerned. Thank you for watching this video. Microsoft Fabric represents a big step towards unified analytics in the cloud, and understanding its pricing is key to leveraging it effectively. Jai Hind.